Hey everyone, it's Ali and welcome back to my channel. I just finished filming my last video, and if you haven't seen it, go check that one out. But in case you haven't, Happy New Year. We are in 2021. Thank you, Jesus, because mama can't handle another 2020. We need 2021 so we can move forward. 2020 was just not my year. Like I said, it's been a tough one. And I know I've been a little MIA. I've just been super busy. Work has kept me on my feet a lot. From work and recording radio ads to just trying to be healthy and take care of myself and my body, I've just been all over the place, and it's been a really crazy last couple months. But I wanted to get these videos out here because I've been acquiring a bit of fragrances, and I had some fragrances from Do a Fragrance that I'm going to be talking about today that I really wanted to talk about because I essentially have like a nice little haul here that I haven't talked about. And yeah, I don't want to keep this from you guys any longer. I want to get into these fragrances to let you know my thoughts on these. And yeah, so we're going to get started in with the first one. And the first one I want to talk about is Otomic Rose. This is their take on Initio's Otomic Rose. This is really, really nice. It honestly reminds me a ton of Delina by Parfums de Marly, and I will tell you why. But the notes in this are bergamot, pink pepper, hedonine, Bulgarian rose, Turkish rose, jasmine, vanilla, and ambroxif. This smells a ton like a unisex version of Delina from Parfums de Marly. And I say that because of that rose that this has. It's a very similar to the same rose that's in Delina. But what makes this different from Delina is that I feel like this lies a bit more unisex. And there's a huge burst of bergamot, especially in the opening, mixing in with that rose and pink pepper as well, which adds a little bit of a spicy effect to it, but not making it overtly spicy. The Bulgarian rose and the Turkish rose in this work so beautifully with the vanilla in this as well. And that jasmine adds a slightly clean effect. This is a beautiful rose fragrance, and honestly, like, I prefer this 1,000 times more to Delina. I don't know why, it being more on the unisex side makes it smell more sensual and more beautiful. I still love Delina from Parfums de Marly, but this is just gorgeous. It's a denser, more syrupy, kind of almost refreshing but dense and syrupy version of Delina. And I really do enjoy it. It's, like I said, dense, a little bit refreshing because of the bergamot, with a little spicy kick because of the pink pepper, and the rose in this is just so beautiful. Rose lovers out there, check this one out. It's a really, really good one. The next one that I'm going to talk about is Herbs and Sea Salt, and this is their take on Jo Malone's Wood, Sage, and Sea Salt. This is stunning. Like, I liked Jo Malone's Wood, Sage, and Sea Salt. Oh, I get tongue twisted sometimes. I'm so sorry, you guys. And I love, like I said, Wood, Sage, and Sea Salt by Jo Malone. It's iconic. It's what the brand is known for, essentially. This is Dua's take on it, and oh my god, do I like this so much better. It's so much stronger, so much longer lasting, so much more potent. I can wear this, and it's literally an all-day scent for me, and I love that about this. It's a very simplistic fragrance, amberette seeds, sea salt, sage. That's it. And it is so, so beautiful. It has this sort of citrusy opening. I do believe there's grapefruit in this as well. I can't recall. But it has this sort of like citrusy opening to it as well. And it's just so, so pretty. It's so refreshing. It's very linear. So what you smell from the cap is essentially what you're going to smell like all day. This sort of citrusy opening does happen in the beginning, and it sort of dies down to this sort of like refreshing, clean, aromatic fragrance. Extremely unisex. Men, women, anybody could wear this. Trust me. Get your nose on this one, especially if you're into clean fragrances. And even if you're not into clean fragrances, try this one out. I feel like this one will definitely change your mind. I'm not a big fan of clean fragrances. I think they're nice, but they're kind of boring. This one is on another level that, like, it's not boring. It keeps me interested. It keeps me engaged. It makes me say, what is that? This one's a head turner for sure. And if you want something that's not your typical fragrance because you're not so much into clean fragrances like I am, definitely get this one. Just trust me. It's salty, it's aromatic, it's absolutely beautiful. I've never smelled something quite as stunning as this. And like I said, I've put my nose on wood sage and sea salt. This blows it out of the water. Do yourself a favor. Get you this one. The next one that I'm going to talk about was one that I had been wanting to get for a long time, and that's Caramel Delight. And this one was out of stock, like, all the freaking time. I could never get my hands on it, and I finally did. Super excited. This is their take on Lyra from Xerjoff. Lyra is so talked about on the platform because Demi Rowling hyped it up so freaking much. And yes, Lyra is a good fragrance. I have smelt it before. Honestly, I prefer Love and Crime from Ex Idol. I feel like that one is better, more potent, and more delicious than Lyra, honestly, and it's not as talked about. And honestly, I might talk about it in my next set of videos for my gourmand favorites, because it is definitely a gourmand that is so, it's so beautiful. Like, oh my gosh, ay Dios mío, so well done. But this is really good nonetheless. Bergamot, blood orange, lavender, jasmine, cinnamon. You've got a licorice blossom note in this, muscaccord, you've got vanilla and caramel. This smells so, so good. This reminds me of the Mexican bakeries I used to frequent when I was younger, back home in California. I used to go to all the panaderias there, and like the smell of the fresh baked breads that filled the rooms, it was sweet, delicious. You would smell caramel in the air, dulce de leche, like all these beautiful scents. I get that from this. The citruses in this adds a sort of like delicious orange effect. It almost smells like an orange crumb cake to me, drizzled with caramel. It's super decadent, super delicious. It's not a boring gourmand by any means. But like I said, I do prefer Love and Crime, Love and Crime by Ex Idol when it comes to gourmands like this one, but this is still beautiful nonetheless. Extremely beautiful. Gourmand lovers, check this one out. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. The next one, I'm sorry if I'm sort of running through them, but I have like 12 fragrances, and I'm trying to keep the video not too long because I know some people complain about my videos being so long sometimes, but you guys, you have to remember I don't edit these things, and sometimes I have little stumbles and mix-ups, so yeah, I keep those in. And they're not always the greatest. Now, this one is Lustful Paradise, and this is Dua's take on Ex Nihilio's Lust in Paradise. This again goes down the lines of sort of a Delina type fragrance because it has notes of pink pepper, white peony, lychee, white cedar, musk, and amber. And the parts of this that remind me a lot of Delina are the white peony, the lychee, and that pink pepper note. It's not identical to Delina. This is like if Delina was toned down and had a more refreshing version of itself that was a little bit aquatic, then I think this would be sort of their take on that. Nonetheless, it's really beautiful. When I first got it and smelled it, I was like, this is kind of boring, but I decided to wear it to work, and I got a ton of compliments wearing this one. By the end of the day, I ended up really liking it. It smells like delicate pink rose petals. It's refreshing, it's beautiful, it's very delicate. It smells like you're laying in a bed of these beautiful soft pink rose petals. The musk in this is really beautiful. It really shines. The lychee in this adds a sort of creamy quality to it that's slightly aquatic in my opinion. And the peony is very prominent in this as well. It adds this beautiful sort of floral effect, but it comes off to my nose sort of as pink rose petals. But nonetheless, it's a really beautiful fragrance. If you like I said, clean sort of rosy fragrances that are a bit more on the feminine side, check out Lustful Paradise. I feel like this will be a great summer fragrance. I cannot wait to bust this out in summer. Not going to get a lot of wear of this right now, being that it's winter and there is snow everywhere and it is butt cold outside. Probably won't be using that too much right now. The next one that I have is Infused Iris, and this is their take on Prada's Infusion d'Iris. I think I said that right. I don't know. It's in French, and I don't speak the French like I've said before. This is beautiful. At first, I didn't know how to feel about this one because it's hit and miss for me with Iris. I do like Iris. I enjoy it. I enjoy its powdery aspects. But sometimes like irisy fragrances can be a little bit of a hit or miss with me. And this one, I wasn't sure how to feel about it at first. But the more I've worn it, the more I've really liked it and the more addicted to this I've become. You have African orange flower, neroli orange, mandarin orange, iris. You have mastic oil, calabanum. You have incense, Virginian cedar, benzoin, and vetiver. I feel like this, even though it is marketed as a feminine fragrance, could easily be unisex. I feel like a man and a woman could totally rock this. It is very powdery with these woody undertones to it. I feel like the citrusiness or the citrus notes in this add a very fresh quality to the powderiness to this. It's refreshing, it's powdery, it's woody at the same time. The incense adds a softness to this fragrance as well. And I really do enjoy the vetiver in this. Normally vetiver is a lot more masculine leaning in fragrances, but I think the addition of the vetiver in this can make this easily unisex. So guys who do like fragrances that are unisex but might lean a teensy bit more feminine, check this one out. And honestly, I love it when men wear unisex fragrances or something that leads a little bit feminine because it adds a sort of mysterious quality to them that is just super sexy. And I feel like on a man, this would be really sexy. On a woman, this would give off a really cool, like artsy sort of vibe because there's something about this fragrance that's very artsy and it makes me think of that cool artsy hipster girl. Definitely check this out if that is your vibe and something you're interested in, honestly. The next one that I'm going to talk about is one that has been extremely hyped up, especially in the Duo Facebook group. It's one that's been talked about a lot, and I finally got my hands on it. It is Amberlicious, and this is their take on Hermès's Ambre Narguillet or Narguillet. I can never say it right. Like, these French words are killing me sometimes. But it's based off of that Hermès fragrance. You have honey, benzoin, labandum, you have musk, vanilla, sesame seed, caramel, rum, cinnamon, white orchid, tonka bean, and you have that amber accord. This is really resinous. It's very deep. It's not too sweet, but there is that sweetness there. It's a little balsamic. It is a very interesting amber fragrance. I really did enjoy this one, honestly. When I've worn it, people have told me that it gives off sort of a chocolatey effect, which I don't see at all, but maybe there's something in the air that I'm not picking up that's giving off this sort of chocolatey effect. I honestly pick up a lot on that honey, the benzoin, and the vanilla. The benzoin and the vanilla in particular amp up that vanilla sort of effect in this fragrance, making it a very sweet, sort of kind of boozy, resinous, balsamic-y fragrance. It's really, really interesting. Very warm, very spicy because of that rum and that cinnamon in here. That rum adds a little, just a tiny bit of a boozy effect. It's not overtly boozy by any means. I feel like this is very unisex, leaning a little bit more on the masculine side, just a tiny bit more. But any woman could rock this, honestly. I do enjoy wearing this. It's a really interesting one. Definitely check it out if you want a winter like fragrance that's gonna definitely make a statement. This is a statement making fragrance. I did enjoy it. It was quite nice. The next one that I'm going to talk about is one of the newer ones, and this is a Red Mineral. This is their take on Armani's Privé Rouge Malachite, which again was hyped up extremely hard by Demi Rolling. And it is a very beautiful tuberose heavy fragrance. It's extremely creamy. You have tuberose, pink pepper, clary sage, Chambec jasmine. You have ylang ylang, benzoin, orange blossom, cashmere, and amber. And there are a lot of similarities to this and Alien by Mugler. And I can see where they're going because this does in a way remind me of it because of the woodiness and the amber that Alien has. There's this sort of sensual ambery effect to Alien that this fragrance has as well. It's sort of a sensually amber. There's something a little bit woody about it, and I think What's doing it is the cashmere and the benzoin and the pink pepper. For some reason, those notes to me are creating this sort of effect that Alien is known for. But if you were to take out that dirty Chambec jasmine and replace it with something a bit more refreshing, you would have this. You would have, well, if you replace it with the tuberose and the ylang ylang. And there is that jasmine in this as well, but it is a clean jasmine. It's not that indolic, dirty jasmine that is in Alien, making it an interesting take. It is very, like I said, reminiscent, especially in the dry down. It becomes ambery and a little bit woody in a weird way. And it is reminiscent of Alien, but it is a lot more refreshing and it is more white floral, not as dirty. Very, very pretty. I could see a lot of girls really loving this one, honestly. It's creamy, it's pretty, it's very feminine, and very tropically smelling at the same time. It smells like a tropical vacation, almost like an extremely luxurious body oil made with nothing but the best oil, or the best essential oils that were floral and ambery. It's really pretty. It's not overtly body oily, but definitely a really good one. Check this out if that's something that you're interested in. I'll probably be using that a bit more in summer. The next one that I'm going to talk about was one that I was extremely excited to get. This one was one I'd been trying to get for a long time, but it was always out of stock. This is 33 Shades of Santel, and this is their take on Le Labo's Santal 33. And I love this. I have smelled Santal 33 on people in the past, and I thought it was such an interesting scent. And this totally captures that same fragrance, and it captivated me the second I smelled it. Cardamom, iris, violet, Australian sandalwood, papyrus, cedarwood, leather, and musk is what's in this. And with those notes in mind, it's kind of interesting the way this smells. To me, this smells like cucumbers. Some people say it smells like pickles, but I get this sort of cucumbery leather effect. I almost feel like when I smell this, like you're sitting inside of some high-end spa with cucumber slices on your eyes and sitting in the most comfortable, luxurious leather chair, just laying back, smelling that smell of leather from the chair and smelling that delicious like cucumber slice on your eye that you totally want to eat, but you can't because you're going to look like a fool when the person comes back and there's a bite on your damn cucumber thing. That's what this smells like. It is really unique. I've never smelled anything quite as interesting as this fragrance, aside from Le Labo's Santal 33. I really like this. This is definitely unique. It's definitely interesting. Check this out if you're into something a little bit more on the different side. I love this a lot. 33 Shades of Santal. The next one that I'm going to talk about is one that is their take on a Xerjoff fragrance. This is Speechless, and it is their take on More Than Words by Xerjoff, which is extremely expensive. I wasn't sure what to expect. I just sort of bought this on a whim. I thought it sounded kind of interesting and was reading people's reviews on there and seeing that a lot of people really enjoyed this one. And let me tell you, this is probably one of the most powerful duos I own at this point. One spray of this is literally all you need. It's got a very stinky oud in it, but once it hits skin, that stinky oud starts to die down because there is a sort of fecaliness to the oud that I get from time to time when I wear this. It really, sometimes it smells really stinky and other times it's not as stinky. Other times I get more of the fruit. Like this fragrance is really, really interesting in the way that it works. It's dense, it's syrupy, it's fruity, but not overtly fruity. It's got a sweetness to it, but a very heavy woody base because of the oud in this. It's so interesting. You've got olivandum, labandum, ambergris, fruity notes. You have precious woods, agarwood, taif rose. Get my like words so mixed up. Taif rose, Bulgarian rose, and floral notes. The floral notes are definitely there, but they're not at the forefront. I get a lot more of the fruit and this sort of like sensual woody base. In the air, this smells delicious. It smells intriguing. It's very mysterious and very sexy. But like I said, there is going to be that initial blast of that agarwood that's going to be kind of stanky. So be prepared for that, but it does die down rather quickly and become something next level and really interesting and very unique. I really do like this one. It is a sexy fragrance. But like I said, go light on the sprays with this because it is strong. Like, it is overtly strong. Like, you will choke out a room with this. One spray on the wrist, maybe dab the back of the neck, and that's it. All day fragrance. Definitely a cool one. The next one that I'm going to talk about was one that was hyped up a lot in the Duo Facebook groups, and that is a Spice Affair. You've got cardamom, star anise, creamy chai latte note, a vanilla note, floral undertones, a spice medley from India. You have Indian kulfi cloves, or kulfi, sorry, Indian kulfi. You have cloves and Indian oud. This is a very spicy fragrance that does remind me of a watered down chai tea almost. I do get that sort of chai effect, but I don't get a lot of the creaminess. I smell the vanilla, but this almost smells like a chai tea that is just chai tea. Like if you dropped a chai tea bag in water and just drink it like that, that's what I sort of get. It's sort of got this aquatic quality to it. I do get the creaminess from it, but it's not overtly creamy. It's almost like I said, like you had a chai tea bag and we're steeping it in hot water. That's the sort of effect I get from this. Extremely spicy, very pretty, a slightly powderiness to this fragrance. I could see why a lot of people like this fragrance. It's definitely unisex. Anybody could wear this, honestly. Definitely get your nose on this if that's something that you're interested in. I feel like this is a great autumn winter scent. I get compliments when I wear this one, and it's a cool scent for sure. I don't have anything quite like this one. It's pretty unique, and that one is one of their original creations. The next one that I'm going to talk about is Myrrhnilla Delight. So hard to say this one for me. This is their take on Jo Malone's Myrrh and Tonka. Jo Malone's Myrrh and Tonka is one of my favorite from Jo Malone. It is so beautiful, so just... The myrrh in that fragrance is so gorgeous. It's sort of got this dusty book old quality to it that is absolutely beautiful. I love it when myrrh smells like dusty old vintage books. If you know the smell of old books, they have a certain dusty myrrhy type of effect to them. And I sort of get this from that, but I also get that tonka bean and that almond, which makes it so sexy. This has notes... I'm so sorry, you guys. It's been a long day today. This has notes of vanilla. This has notes of lavender, myrrh, vanilla, tonka bean, and almond. There we go. I said it. This is beautiful. I get a lot of compliments again when I wear this one. It has that dusty book sort of effect, but it's sweet. It's resinous. It's really, really pretty and just... My gosh, anyone who smells like this is going to turn heads. This is gorgeous. This is so, so good. It's sweet. It's vanillic. It's a little bit dusty. It's everything I love in a fragrance. So, so good. Check this one out, especially if you want something really comforting and just beautiful for fall and winter. Or even spring, honestly. Early spring when it's still cool out. This is a perfect one. You will turn heads in all the best ways. I promise you that. The last one that I'm going to talk about is one of the original creations. It comes in a box like this. I got it when it first came out, and this is La Cosa Nostra. And it looks like this. It comes in the special packaging. This is a boozy fragrance. It's got coffee, whiskey, bitter almond, cognac, Havana oil. You have tobacco, praline, and vanilla. This fragrance is extremely masculine. I don't think a lot of women would enjoy this one, but I think a lot of women would enjoy smelling this on a man because I think this smells sexy, especially on a man. This is extremely boozy. This is one of the more extremely boozy fragrances I have smelled in a long time. It sort of has this super malty note to it, even though there's not a malty note. That reminds me of beer, especially smelling it off the cap. And something to note about this fragrance is, be forewarned, when you first spray it, it is strong. I can smell the coffee when I sprayed it. It's landed on the back of my hand. But it smells like coffee and spilt whiskey, in my opinion. I can kind of smell the bitter almond. The tobacco is definitely there, and the praline and vanilla adds a sweetness to this as well. It is extremely potent, and the first few minutes of this can be a little bit jarring for a lot of people. Keep that in mind. But when this settles down, it's very sensual, sort of boozy. Oh gosh, it's starting to settle down now, and already I can feel the praline and vanilla starting to amp up with that bitter almond. I'm still picking up on that coffee. It's also amping up a little bit more. And the whiskey is starting to tone down that malty sort of effect and smelling more smooth, more sensual. Like cognac in this is also so good. The Javana oil adds a sort of spice to this. And it's just all mixing in so beautifully. I've never smelled anything quite like this one. I think this is a gorgeous original creation. Guys out there, check this out. Also, the tobacco, as it starts drying down, gets a little bit more on the smokier side, just slightly. My goodness, I really, really like this. It is such a unique boozy fragrance. My guys out there, get that one if you want to make a statement. But also, don't go too heavy on the sprays with that one because she is very potent and she will choke out a room also, which is something that Dua Fragrances is known for. It's known for its potency and its quality. And one of the reasons why I love Dua Fragrances, honestly, is they have such an array of fragrances. And a lot of their original creations are so, so good. That one in particular, I really like it, but I like it for men. My girls out there, I don't think a lot of you would enjoy that one. But that's just me. Definitely, you know, if you can sample it, sample it. And yeah, that's it, you guys. That's my little haul here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm sorry it was so long. Happy 2021. I will link everything down below, like I said before, and I will be bringing you more content hopefully soon. Till next time, you guys, I love you, and I will catch you guys later. Bye.